Okay, so hello everybody and welcome to today's session. I'm Emma Kerr, Head of Content and Publications with ACCA, and with almost a month left for the exams, I'm sure you're all getting ready and gearing up for this. Today we are joined with Payal Sharma with us, who's going to share some tips for using the ACCA Study Hub in exam preparation. Pael will be giving her FIFR exam in March 24, and she's delighted to share her experience of using ACCA Study Hub with you all. So, hello and welcome, Pael. To
Hello,
begin,
Emma.
hello. So, to begin, what was your motivation for using ACCA Study Hub?
So, let me first talk about my exam history. I gave my first exam of financial management in September 23, and unfortunately, I couldn't clear it. I scored 48 marks in it, and I knew I was close. I just needed to work on few areas. So, I decided to resit in December, and fortunately, I passed. This time I use Study Hub, so I am very much motivated to use it for my upcoming March session for financial reporting.
Fantastic. And congratulations on that pass in December. But
Thank
let's
you.
think back to the September 23 attempt. What were your learnings when you didn't clear it?
I realized I did neglect the resources already provided by ACCA to me. Like, I didn't use technical articles, practice platform, and study hub. I also actually researched the examiner's approach to understand the syllabus deeper. After all of this research, I realized that I could have attempted the September attempt better, and also I could have completed my syllabus on time with higher conceptual clarity, and also would have practiced a sufficient number of exam oriented questions.
Fantastic. And these really are all great resources that are offered by ACCA. And I'm really
Yes,
glad that you found these after the September 23 attempt. Did you
yes.
also use any other ACCA resources to understand the reasons of not performing well?
Well, my exam performance was a real eye opener to me. According to me, I answered the long questions very well. But then when I saw my exam performance, I realized that I didn't. And I had to work on it. My answers were not up to the point. I realized the topics I was not good in. I also realized the topics I didn't needed to practice again and again I was good in. So that saved a lot of time and I could focus on my weaker areas.
Fantastic. And my exam performance tool, it really is a great resource and used with all our resources, it really does make a difference to our exam performance and you've seen that firsthand. So once you became aware of all the resources, can you tell us then how you prepared for your resit in December?
Okay, so after assessing my mistakes from the previous attempt, I explored Study Hub very much thoroughly. So I studied the whole study text for an entire chapter. I used to practice the examples and activities given in it along with it. After that, I used to do quizzes and practice questions to boost my confidence. Then I used to reach out to flashcard feature of it to revise quickly, and after that, for I think two weeks before my exams, I did practice questions from Kaplan. I refer to Kaplan this time,
Mhm.
and I practiced most of the constructed response questions on practice platform to improve my section C scoring area.
Fantastic. And by doing those constructed response long questions that you'd heard from in the my exam feedback really gave you that drive to then achieve the
Yes.
pass. So, and
Yes.
specifically as we talk about the study hub, I just think it's fantastic to know that this resource helped you in your preparation. But were there specific tools within the study hub that you found to be particularly useful?
Yes, as I have already mentioned earlier, most of the features of ACCA Study Hub are very useful as well as convenient to use. Quizzes and flashcards are a really fun and interactive way to study. You can view your progress each time you attempt, and you can also mark the questions or topic that you want to visit again so that you don't end up making the same mistakes before exam. The practice revision questions are up to the exam standards, so you will be prepared for the exam really well if you attempt those.
Oh, that's great. It's great to hear everything that's in the study hub is being used. And I know there's also that confidence levels where you can rate your confidence as you go. So fantastic. And finally, for today, what would your advice be to the fellow students listening in today that are preparing for their March 24 exam?
So, my first advice would be to not leave important topics for the end. Please do revise them first, they are important. Once you complete a chapter, read technical articles immediately after it, because once you skip it, you're probably not going to refer to them and they are really important. Rather than practicing all questions after the completion of whole study text, I think you should uh, try to practice the questions chapter wise so that you have better retention of concepts and to reduce your load at the end time. And make sure you practice majority of the constructed response questions on the practice platform itself so that you're familiar with how the exam is conducted. And lastly, even if you are not familiar with the whole or all the features of ACCA Study Hub, I would still encourage you to use at least the quizzes or practice question feature of it. I can explain how it will help you to save time. So, if you're doing the questions manually, you'll attempt all the questions, then you have to go to the answer section and self evaluate if you have attempted, how many marks you have scored. But if you're using the ACCA Study Hub, this whole process of self evaluation is eliminated. It will tell you how many questions that you attempted were correct, how many were not, and how many that you left to review for later. So it will save your precious time during exams. You can also refer to the questions that you're getting wrong a number of times so that you don't end up making the same mistake in the exam itself.
Great. And that's some really, really fantastic advice. So thank you so much. And I do think, as you've said, you've really spoken about the way that the study hub can be used, in the preparation and then with the other tools available. So thank you so much for your time, Pyle. I'm sure that lots of our students will be able to benefit from your advice and highlighting what we have there. So I'd just like to thank you again for your time today. It has been really beneficial, and I really wish you the best of luck in the upcoming exam session. So,
Thank you, Emma.
thank you. And for everybody else listening today, I would just like to thank you all for your time and patience and attention. And I wish everyone the best of luck in the March 24 exams.